Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And today I've got one final restaurant-supervised product from Marutai to review. This is Marutai Nagasaki Shikairo Champon. Before we get started, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy my reviews. Yes, Champon. I'm finally getting to review a Japanese champon for the first time. Its Korean cousin, Champon, commonly spelled with two J's instead of a CH, is something I've reviewed before and is one of my newest favorite things. But this will be the first time I'm having the non-spicy Japanese version of the recipe. Nagasaki, Japan is the birthplace of Champon, where it was invented by a Chinese restaurant all the way back in 1899. And it's a tantalizing combination of a creamy meat and seafood broth topped with stir-fried pork, seafood, and vegetables. And that Chinese restaurant was Shikairo, which is still around today and is the restaurant that supervised this product from Marutai. Pretty cool, right? The restaurant that is literally responsible for inventing this recipe over a century ago is the one that supervised this product. If you live outside of Japan, you can find this on yamibuy.com, where I paid a little over $5, or you should check your nearby Asian markets to see if they import this. And if you live in Japan, well, I envy you and your instant ramen products. You should be able to find this very easily. Now, before I get into the ingredients, I want to talk about how I will conduct this review. And it ties into that whole stir-fry thing I just mentioned. My mantra from the very beginning of this channel has always been that all reviews are conducted with everything cooked according to the package instructions without anything else added, so that you know for sure that the base product you're spending your hard-earned money on is worth topping with other ingredients that you are also spending your hard-earned money on. My dilemma here is that step one of the instructions is to stir-fry your favorite meat, seafood, and vegetables so that you can then add them to the cooked noodles and broth for the final minute of cooking. So, while that sounds awesome and would result in a complete meal, essentially what you see on the front of the package here, I am going to be skipping that step for two reasons. One, for an unbiased review, you deserve to know what this broth tastes like on its own before I add to it, and two, my preferred mixture of meat, seafood, and veggies might not be what you would put into this. It might not match this picture. Marutai specifically calls out pork, shrimp, squid, cabbage, that kind of stuff. Maybe you don't like squid. Maybe you don't want to buy an entire head of Napa cabbage just to make one recipe, right? Either way, adding a stir fry to this would skew the review too much. So this video will focus only on what's in the package. And if you want to see me do the whole stir-fry shebang, I could film a cooking video for this if enough people comment that they want to see it. I actually did buy two of these just in case, because, to paraphrase one of my favorite movies, why buy one when you can have two at twice the price? So with all that out of the way, the sodium in this is a whopping 2,880 milligrams, or 117% of your daily allowance. That's crazy high, just like all of Marutai's other varieties. So if you buy this and do the stir-fry step, try to keep the added salt to a minimum for the sake of your health. Or, just stay really hydrated while you eat it. Now inside, we've got some really interesting noodles. These are made with Kyushu flour exclusively for this product, and there is a disclaimer on the pack saying that the little spots that you may or may not be able to see here are totally normal due to the way these noodles are made. We also have two liquid packets, which contain all kinds of good stuff like chicken, pork, and seafood extracts, plus non-specific spices and alcohol, probably sake or mirin, or maybe even Shaoxing wine, since this is a Chinese recipe in origin. I don't know for sure, but I'm guessing probably something like that. I also don't know what's in this versus this, so I'll just give them the usual sniff test before I add them in. Now I have talked far too much, so let's get this cooked and reviewed. Okay, here's the noodles and the water that they boiled in. Yes, you are supposed to use this for this recipe. It specifically says you pour the noodles and the starchy water into the stir fry if you're following the directions to a T. Let's put these packets in and see what happens. Okay. The alcohol is absolutely in there, along with soy sauce And I'm guessing from the consistency, this is at least pork extract. Probably chicken as well. Oh, that's very good. Ah, yes, and there is all the seafood extract. And what is clearly some sort of thickening agent, too. Maybe some gelatin. All right, now we're going to stir all this together. All right, and here we go. Sadly, there are no garnishes in this pack, but you're supposed to provide your own garnishes in the form of the stir fry, so I can't in good conscience dock any points for that. Take a look at the consistency of this broth. That is a really nice, rich, thick broth. Really cool. All right, let's give this a taste. Okay, this is quite an experience. Let's talk about Marutai's special Kyushu flour noodles for this recipe. These are as good as they look. They are really thick, have an incredible chew, and they've got an amazing al dente texture that I'm guessing whatever is special about that Kyushu flour contributes to. These are phenomenal noodles. These could be the best noodles I've had from Marutai yet, which is already a very high bar. So these are absolutely a 10 out of 10 for me. As far as spiciness is concerned, if you've watched any of my Korean Champon videos, you know that those are all spicy. However, because this is a Japanese recipe, there is no spice in this. This is a completely mild Champon, 0 out of 10 for spice. And so let's talk about the overall flavor and quality of this. Shout out first and foremost to the consistency of this broth. This is quite possibly one of the thickest, richest, creamiest broths I've ever gotten out of a pack of ramen before. It's silky, smooth, thick, absolutely wonderful. The flavors that are going on in here are a combination of the umami from the soy sauce and various meat extracts, a pretty good hit of onion flavor, and then what tastes to me like shrimp extract. It's got that kind of smell and taste of like boiled shrimp. Very good, but very shrimpy. If you like just a mild hit of seafood flavor in your soup, this might be a little too strong for you. But I like it. I think it's very good. There's not much else I can say about this. No garnishes, but I'm not going to dock any points for that, like I said. But yeah, if you put the stir fry on top of this, like the instructions advise you to, you're going to have something really incredible. So now my overall score for this without the stir fry comes down to a few key considerations. The noodles are amazing. The broth is incredibly tasty on its own. And I just want to mention that instant Japanese Champon in general is an extremely difficult product to find in an American retailer. So points for its scarcity. But you do have to do some extra work to follow the instructions to the letter, so it's not exactly what I would call fast or convenient, and it's definitely not cheap. So, I'm going to score this as a 9 out of 10 overall with a little asterisk next to it. And the asterisk is, if you're willing to devote the time and money to make a stir fry and turn this into a complete meal, and you like the meaty seafood broth that I described, this will be a 10 out of 10 for you. If you're not prepared to follow the instructions because it's not convenient or too expensive, or you just don't have the ingredients, you're still probably going to like the flavor and quality, but you're going to be missing that extra something. So this is a great product either way. Just know what you're getting into when you're buying this. Okay, so even though I skipped the stir frying step, I am happy to report that as a base for a meal, this broth is terrific and the noodles are awesome. Add your own stir fry or even something as simple as ramen-based seafood mix, and you're going to have a killer meal here if you love the flavor of pork and seafood. And so now I am going to go throw something together to add on top of this for my lunch. Please remember to leave me some comments one way or the other about if you'd like to see me revisit this down the road with some proper proteins and vegetables. And if you do end up buying this for yourself, let me know what you decided to make with it. We've got one last Marutai product coming up for review in the next video, and then some completely new stuff is coming in the new year, so I hope you'll check out those videos. See you next time on Noodle Journey.